You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your men whose throats were slit. Blood for blood, it's the only way. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on our walls as a lesson to the rest.
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more? We're better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandits' ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that. Do you hear me?
But what happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be your throat that's slit.
That's enough. Both of you. Any more of this and I'll throw you out myself. Come back when you're ready to talk like adults.
Victor. What's he doing here?
Sid. And Lady Jill. What brings you here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Costness is in chaos, and the markets have all but ceased to operate. The Briar's Kiss here in Dalamil is the only place I can reliably obtain supplies. I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles. He thought I might be able to talk some sense into these fools. But if you're here, I suppose his patience must be waning.
Who are those people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. And the reason this place might be headed the same way as Costness. It's these accursed skies. The darkness is enough to drive a man to madness. Or an entire city, for that matter.
We're still working on the skies. But in the meantime, perhaps we can find a solution to Dalamil's problems.
I hope so. For all our sakes.
So, you see my predicament?
What I saw was a room full of people who were angry and afraid. And with good reason by the sound of it. But if left to smolder, that anger and fear could set the entire town alight.
My thoughts exactly. What to do? Both sides wish to protect their homes and livelihoods, if only they could agree on how. But as long as they are divided, we are vulnerable.
And if there's one thing bandits like, it's an easy target.
What would Sid the Outlaw suggest?
Well, if it were my namesake, he'd let them choose for themselves, and be on hand to pick up the pieces when it all went wrong.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
A recipe for disaster is precisely what it is. But perhaps that realization would be enough to make them question the ingredients. While it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie will countenance the other's proposal, it may still be possible to make them doubt their own. Before presenting them with a third option.
And that would be?
To pool our resources and save the city ourselves. Why fight each other?
When all that fear and anger can be directed at the bandits.
It appears we have a plan of action. Victor, pay Conrad a visit. See if you can't convince him of his folly. I'll speak with Natalie.
As you wish.
Your faces are not well known in this town. That may prove useful. Don't worry, Victor and I will do most of the talking. You need only play along.
Play along?
What he means to say is yes.
A shop?
If I had my pickaxe, I would...
I mean, it may still be possible to buy something, and we may... Ah, here he is now. Natalie, allow me to introduce Lord Underhill of Randalar's prestigious League of Merchants.
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill.
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord, and how you were lamenting the state of the capital's stores.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the Blight mean this season's harvest won't be enough to fill them for winter.
Indeed, certainly that is the case. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine, driving the prices higher than most commoners can afford. It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse than I thought. If what Lord Underhill says is true, I fear we have little hope of supplementing our stores, meager though they regrettably are. And while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our more bellicose citizens from seeking vengeance, I sense Conrad is not wrong in his assessment of the bandits' likely return. Which means that now, more than ever, we will need to secure what little we still have. Food, weapons, herbs, everything. If our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow, we must stand united.
All right. If it will help to protect my home, I'll do it. But you needn't have gone through this charade.
Thank you, Clive. Your performance was nothing if not workmanlike.
She saw right through it.
I didn't say it was good, merely that it produced the desired effect. Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and we shall see what we face.
Mummy, I'm scared.
Oh, I'm ruined.
Picture it, Conrad. Ah, here she is. The Lady of the Spear herself. Conrad, may I introduce you to Jane, commander of the Red Wings, the oldest mercenary guild in the Free Cities.
A pleasure, my lady.
The pleasure is all mine.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canver to inquire about a contract.
Victor says you told him no. That there aren't any men left to hire. Is that true?
True as the crystals cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. And not just from us Red Wings. You know of the 7 high houses? There must be 2 swords assigned each one. Granted, we have a few boys left. If it's boys you're looking for.
Well, Conrad, are you saying that Dalamil's finest cannot defend this town better than a gaggle of unblooded striplings? That a band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you yourselves?
Absolutely not. We'll show those bastards who they're dealing with.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Conrad's not what you called the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why I had you do the talking and not Sid. Well played, my lady.
I'm not convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
Good news, Sid. Both Conrad and Natalie have somewhat gracefully accepted their new roles. With time, they may even learn to.
Time no longer appears to be the luxury it was before lunch.
I take it your scouts found the bandits.
Technically, it would be the bandits who found my scouts. It appears they march for Dalamil as we speak. All of them.
You're not serious.
They don't just want food, they want the whole damn town.
I have a favor to ask. I'm told the bandits march in 2 groups, one from the south and one from the desert, in a move doubtless intended to stretch our already gossamer-thin defenses.
Very well. Jill and I will meet those from the desert. But what of the rest?
The rest, my friend, the city shall fight. Together. The stakes, I concede, are high. But if this does not unite Dalamil, nothing will.
That is a lot of faith to put into those who had their hands around each other's throats but a moment ago.
Then it will be for us to see that their hands are kept occupied. And I do mean us.
I thought you might say that.
We'll hold them off for as long as we can.
And we will do the same.
The women folk have come to welcome us.
I'll take that one.
He's all yours.
To overwhelm us.
The townspeople. Could they have held out?
I don't hear any fighting. What do you think?
That we should hurry.
Natalie. Aye, you did well out there. The inn would have been lost had you not held the line.
Without you, there would have been no line to... You saved us, Conrad.
We all saved up.
Conrad seems to have had a change of heart.
I'd say they both have.
I take it from your presence that visitors from the desert.
The plan worked. Granted, it only took an army of bloodthirsty bandits.
Calm now, Victor. Why quibble over the We are united. And as for you, Sid, you fight.
I'll take that as a compliment. First we find Isabel.
Heard a bloke saying he saw ghosts on the far side of the wall.
Ghosts? Then a wall won't stop them. I saw it with my own eyes. The whole of all.
Four left for more on the captain's orders.
The two soldiers were carrying...
More arrived from the capital.
My lord. Milady.
We received the dame's message. There have been sightings of strange creatures, I understand.
With the blue eyes. Yes. Like a cat, they've taken so many. I've lost count.
Akashic, but different.
Ultimate, and what of your mistress? Is she...
Oh, no. She went to the garrison to ask what they were planning on doing about...
Then we'll look for her there.
Madame, please! Half the garrison's been slaughtered by those things. We lost the captain this very morning.
We've tried requesting reinforcements, but there's been no word from the capital or the Dominion in days! What more would you have us do?
I would have you do your duty. Those at the Vale look to me for protection. And protect them I shall. Because they are my charges, and that is my duty. In case you have forgotten, the people of this town are your charge. But more than that, they are your people, your sisters, your brothers, your lovers. So you have a choice. Lay down your sword and watch as they are slaughtered. Or take it up and do what is right.
She speaks the truth, you know. This here, it's all we have. It's all that's left.
What we have left is our lives! Do you really...
Not if we don't have to. Look, there's a cask under the captain's bunk. Let's talk about this over a drink, eh? I'll have a word with him.
Clive. I didn't expect help to arrive so quickly. And
sought to take matters into my own hands.
It was a noble effort, but I thought you might still need some support.
I'd like you to consider my needs.
What we need to consider is where the creatures came from.
The way the survivors speak of them, one would think they appeared out of thin air. And perhaps they did. It's hard to know what to believe these days.
We'll talk to the survivors. You're a pikeman, yes? What happened?
I've got family in Moor. I heard the flood was spreading, so I went to see if they were all right. And a pack of them glowing things found me in the meadow. I ran for my life. I never did get to the village.
Leave that to us.
My family.
Don't leave me, Pa.
That thing, it took off the...
Did you see the creatures that attacked you?
Creatures? Yeah, they came out of nowhere. They went for Joseph first, then me, and then they were just...
Do you remember where you were?
On the road from Oriflamme. We just passed Moor when...
It's all right. At least we have an idea of where the thralls might be now. We should head for more.
I assume you have a plan?
It was all they could do to escape.
Let's go.
Yeah!
Clyde, look!
I see them. With me!
Should I prime?
Save your strength. To me, boy. Slow.
Do you think there are more?
There are always more. But I'd say we've done what we can for the time being.
Then we should let Isabel know.
You have the town's thanks.
Don't thank us yet. There will be more. Many more. And you'll need to be ready for them.
Oh, we shall. Isn't that right, Captain?
Yes, milady. The garrison will be ready.
Philippe here has convinced most of the men to remain at their posts. For now, at least.
Hearing that the Dane would look kindly on any man who committed himself to the task certainly didn't hurt. It's not the most selfless of motives, I'll admit. But whatever it takes, eh? Now me, I never needed convincing. I became a soldier to protect the people I love. And the people I love include the ones standing before me.
Handsome and chivalrous.
Now, if you don't mind, I have sentries to post. Milady.
Lest you wonder, I'm not foolish enough to believe that this has solved all of my problems. But it has solved one. And that's one fewer than I had this morning. Thank you again, Clive.
Our friends seem to have things under control. For now, at least. Let's go and put Otto's mind at rest.
Philippe will make a good captain. He reminds me a little of you, Clive. But without all the mocks and mows.
Did you see the pair that got hauled into time?
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Your benefactors are a generous lot. You earned this. Hasn't been delivered yet, I'm afraid. All done?
Clive. How may I help you today? Here you are. Thus ends today's lesson.
Was wondering when you turn up. Had owls from all our friends thanking you for your timely intervention. How is it you always manage to arrive at just the right moment?
Luck, I suppose. Any word on the rest of the realm?
Let's see. Storm's still crying out for Mother Crystals. The nations are still in chaos. And the skies are still the color of a kick in the kidneys 2 days on. So...
Right.
Clive, we knew this was going to happen. Well, not the bleeding skies part, but you take my point. Now's not the time to second-guess yourself. Now's the time to visit the infirmary. Talia says your brother's awake.
Thank you, Otto.
So it was not Sylvester, but Olivier who served as Ultima's puppet. And when Dion learned of this, he sought to slay the fiend. Only for his father to take the spear that would have freed him. Enough to drive a man to madness.
Small wonder he hasn't stirred. I would be afraid to wake.
Had I but reached out to him sooner, warned him of the threat Ultima posed. But now, both an empire and her prince lie broken.
Joshua, what do you know of Ultima?
Very little, I'm afraid. Despite my best efforts. 18 years ago, as I lay buried beneath the rubble of Phoenix Gate, 'twas not death who came for me, but another. And it was while in my rescuer's care, I first heard of Ultima. I've been chasing his shadow ever since. Ultima is driven by some deep, dark purpose, and for whatever reason, it would seem you are crucial to his designs. He will stop at nothing to have you, even if that means toppling an empire.
But why me? What possible use could I be to such a creature?
That is one of many answers that have eluded me. Yet, I am certain of this. It is not mere chance. You were chosen for a reason. All dominants carry within them the might of an icon. Nigh limitless power that is at once acutely limited. I wield fire, and only fire.
And I only ice. 8 wardens for 8 elements. But you, Clive.
You are different. You're special. Your abilities begin with the flames of Ifrit. but they do not end there. The fact Ifrit can even exist goes against everything we thought we knew of dominance. Perhaps Ultima has been waiting for one such as you, whose potential is truly limitless.
I've encountered that thing several times now. If it or he, as you say, needs me, why hasn't he claimed me as he did the boy?
Were I to hazard a guess, I'd say the two of you are somehow incompatible. His mind not properly attuned to your body.
His mind?
Mind, awareness, spirit, call it what you wish. But I believe Ultima to be an embodiment of the concept. This is why I struggle and fail to contain him here inside me.
I'm sorry. Inside you?
With every setting sun, I feel my strength wane. And though the Phoenix's flames mend the prison I have made for Ultima, they do so at a cost. We must find a means to bring an end to him before I meet my own.
What were you thinking?
It was that or let him take Clive. And I've always had a soft spot for my brother.
But that doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Joshua. Clive, it's Gav. There's an army of Akashic at the gates of Canver.
Well, what's the short of it?
It's all Tyre told you. The capital of the Free Cities is under siege by an army of monstrosities. The city guard are doing their best to stem the tide, but numbers ain't on their side.
What of Lord Byron and Mid? Were they able to escape?
No, but they're all right for now. They're hiding with Gav at midship.
We have to get them out of there.
And we shall. Otto, prepare a Stolas. Tell Gav to stay exactly where he is.
Understood.
Vivian, what's the swiftest route to the Free Cities?
That sounds like a question for the map. Look here. This road, through Tabor, should provide the least trouble.
Good.
What a coincidence. Tabor is exactly where I'm bound.
Joshua, bed is where you should be bound.
You don't think I told him the exact same thing?
Were Tyre not such a talented healer, I would surely have been inclined to agree. But, thanks to her ministrations, I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
All right, we travel together.
Clive.
If he stays close to me, he'll be fine.
Thank you, brother.
I'll look after him.
Seems the hideaway's lost
blasted
its
book.
appetite.
Here, you put me in this situation, Clive. You can bloody well get me out of it. I need a hand with a recipe.
Are you sure it's me you're looking for? I'm not much of a cook.
I'm all the cook will be needing. Thank you very much. What I want from you is a little of your time, right? Oh, and you remember Ivan's stew, right? Well, despite the look of the thing, so I thought I'd try making one of these supposed masterpieces myself. Had a peek at the book.
It wasn't as straightforward as you'd hoped.
Yeah, but this is my blooming kitchen, and I will not be outdone. So if you don't want to be seen as playing favourites, I suggest you let me...
I've never been one to play favorites, Molly. And I would be only too... So...
A fried mortress of skyworm. That's one heck of a name, and recipe seemed easy enough to an old hand like myself. Thought I'd follow. Only, turns out skyworm livers and drake's mint are not what I thought they were. At least I hope they're not, given the rancid mess they made.
Yvonne said the recipes in the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries. Who's to say the ingredients even...
Ah, that's a question for a scholar. Kindly old fella who haunts the shelf.
Fine. I'll go and speak to Harpock, and if he does, I'll see if I can find your...
You do that. Lest we...
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be fun?
Sid, perhaps you can help me solve a...
I can certainly try.
It's not who, but what. Mid-scales. The ones she made for her workshop. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about weight, and shortly after the lesson, well, my first thought was that they'd taken them off somewhere to play, but when I asked, they swore they had nothing to do with their having to... Which almost certainly means they had everything to do with it.
Perhaps a visit from Sid will jog their memory.
I think it just... I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me. But if they have, I'll have no choice but to discipline them. They were in the atrium when I last saw them.
Lawsman Harpocrates, I've come to pick your brain if you don't mind.
Valicia, a culinary pilgrimage, a classic. The young man did a wonderful job with the Chance's stew. I do hope we shall be able to sample more such marvel.
That's actually why I'm here. I don't suppose you know where I might find...
So the fabled Sandbrequois delicacy is next on the menu. Delightful. The descriptions of fried mortress... Now, skyworm is a somewhat antiquated name for the wyvern. Their ground livers being the paste from which the mortress...
Dragon livers.
One would have thought the disciples of Bahamut would have a touch more reverence for their icon's brethren, but apparently not. I believe the specific dragon the recipe demands is the blueback wyvern, said to be the very color of the sea beside which it resides.
So we know where to look for our liver. But what about the drake's mint?
Saint's bonnet, in contemporary parlance. A herb which grows along the North Reach. I gather that one can locate the cheerful yellow flowers by their heady scent alone, so I'm sure you'll have no trouble. I may add that people once believed game was best served with the flora that sustained it in life, in which regard fried mortress of skyworm is undoubtedly a tip.
Meaning that if I find one, I find the other.
Best of luck, Clive, and do save me a bite once the dish is complete.
Seems the hideaway is lost.
For Sancfordian, dear. Bring me the materials, and I'll think about it. Don't waste my time. You ain't got the stuff. Anything else?
What am I gonna do?
Is everything all right, Good? You seem more...
Oh, I don't know what that means, but I think Nan might be
It's all right.
Folk are saying she's been selling to bandits and cutthroats and that. I mean, she's fond of a chance, but she'd never do business with baddies. Especially not the kind who go out, and I wanted to ask her about it myself, but she'd never give your tongue a lash.
Don't worry.
Oh, you'll let me know what she's...
Of course. Lady Karen.
Not nearly as foul.
You're doing good trade, then? Both.
Can't complain. What exactly are you getting? Not once in 5 long years do you pay my affairs half a care. But here you are today, raking me over the coals like a bloody popoto.
Just asking. All right.
Oh, are you? And who was it who knows me so well as to tell tales of my...
I didn't exactly hear, for all I know is that someone in Dalamil has been spreading word to that effect.
And what? You believe it? You think I'm profiting off the blood of innocents? Look, I've done things I'm not proud of. Might be there were a time when I turned a blind eye to the wretchedness of the world so I could line me pop, but that woman is no more. And you'd know that.
You're right, Lady Karen. It was wrong of me to doubt you.
No. I reckon you've got better things to do than pointing your do-gooding finger at a poor rock.
Of course.
Aye, it's a dangerous world out. You're rubbing me blind, you know. Finished, are you?
I spoke with Lady Karen.
What did she say?
That the rumors were unfounded. And that I was a fool, along with some other things. That while it sounds like she may have done things she regretted in her...
Oh, well, I knew Nan wasn't caught. But why would people say she was? What?
No. But people do things for all sorts of reasons.
Well, I'm going to that trader. He said they were all talking about her, so that's where I'm going. I'll find someone who'll tell...
Are you sure that's wise? Whoever's spreading these rumors means Karen ill.
Oh, but that's why you'll be coming with me, isn't it?
I heard the Emperor was impaled on his...
We're all gonna die! You hear me?
What do you reckon we should do? I say we should just...
Sid!
Hard at your studies, I see. And what is that? It's not a set of scales, is it?
No. Of course it...
Well, not anymore, it's not.
And just how long hasn't it been one?
We're sorry.
But we didn't break them. We dismembered...
Just like Miss Mididol showed us.
Miss Mididol? And why would she have you dismembering her creations?
Because that's the only way to become an engineer.
Miss Mididol said, the best way to see how something works is to take it apart and put it back together again.
Well, then your work is already half done.
The taking apart was easy enough, but it's the putting back we can't work out.
Speak for yourself. The heavy thing goes at the bottom. Then
Then...
You three need to learn to take responsibility for... So let's have a look at these parts with fresh eyes, shall we? All right. Everything here was once part of Miss Midadol's scales. Every piece has its own role to play, and each is just as important as the other. If even one of them is missing, the scales won't work. So let's think about what those roles might be. You already know one of the pieces. The body. Its role is to support everything else. But what of the others? This tiny piece is what's called a cogwheel, or gear. Have you ever seen one before?
I have. Miss Midadol's dungeon is full of them. Most are on the floor.
She puts them in all her inventions. They spin round and round and round.
That's right. They're very useful when you want to make things move. Do you remember if there was anything on the scales that moved?
I remember the arm moved when I tried weighing an apple. And then somebody ate it.
Not my fault. You shouldn't have tried weighing it before lunch.
You know what part's supposed to move and how it's supposed to move. So, let's put the pieces together first, see what doesn't move, and then stick the cogwheel to that.
Not a bad idea. You see? It's not so difficult. This is called the arm. Why do you suppose that is? It doesn't look much like an arm.
You're right. It looks more like a wing.
You've ridden a chocobo before, haven't you, Sid? Will you teach me to ride one?
I'll think about it. Now.
Hold things. So wait, maybe this arm holds things too?
Good thinking. You're on the right track. These round parts are called the pans. You all know what a pan...
I do. Molly uses them in the kitchens. But these aren't for frying bangers, you idiot. They're for weighing stuff. But what if I wanted to weigh goods? I don't think he'd fit on that list.
What are the chains for? Holding the pans up?
Well spotted. Which means something must hold the chains up in... So, now that we've taken stock of the parts and learned what they do...
I think we've got it.
Then here's what we'll do. You tell me what goes where, and I'll put the scales together.
Well, obviously you need to start with the body. All the other pieces fit onto it, don't they?
And the arms go on the body, just like real arms. Or wings, if you're a chocobo. And then the arms hold the pans by the chains.
Very good. Let's see if that works. There. All finished.
Yes! We did it!
Well, with Sid's help.
Oh, I just put the pieces together. It was you three engineers who showed...
That's right. We're Miss Midadol's hairs.
Her hairs?
Yeah. Hairs for the future. She's showing us her secrets now, so we can help out the hideaway when we're old.
What do you think, Sid? Are we almost ready?
With a little more help from Miss Midadol and Miss Shirley, I'd say it won't be long at all.
You hear that?
Until then, though...
Hey, look! We never used the cogwheel.
You don't think Sid forgot about it, do you?
Did you see that? Tell me you saw
Is a storm coming, Sid?
Well, did you solve the mystery?
It was as you thought. The children had the scales, or the parts of them. They dismantled them to see how they worked.
Oh, no, Mid will have my head.
Thankfully she won't. This might even have been her idea, although I was the one who ended up teaching the lesson.
I'm so sorry, Sid. I know how busy. I shall see that the children are properly punished.
Please, there's no need. Mid seems to have taken the three of them under her wing. She's even calling them her heirs. She'd have them follow in her footsteps.
I see. Sid, do you know why Mid has been spending so much time at the hideaway?
She told me it was because her studies have been interrupted by events in Canva. Is that not true?
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission. In exchange for full tuition, room and board, they asked her to oversee the design of several new war engines. To anyone else it would be an opportunity, but to Mid, who lost both her parents to war, it was a bitter pill. One she was none too keen to swallow, but that should come as no surprise. She's only ever cared about bringing people hope. The very last thing war can be said to do.
Which explains her heirs. She's working to give them a better life. And so should I. What's the odd engineering lesson?
Ah, you've given them far more than that. And I'm sure they're very grateful.
Seems the hideaway is also...
Rutherford. Wasn't that the name of my uncle's manservant? Why would he be at Martha's Rest?
It's like a dream. The four of us out walking like we used to.
Enjoying this, are you? Gav and the others could be in danger as we speak.
You're right. I'm sorry. Yote is a fine scout. If Canva was attacked, she will already have begun gathering information.
Tabor isn't far. We should pick up the pace.
The bandits may be known, but look what they've left us.
It shouldn't be too hard to find goods.
The gentlemen of the town guard are strapping.
Fuck! How the hell did... Finest sell swords...
Could be I know something more. What's it worth?
Clive! I've found someone who says he's heard the rumours about Nan.
Have you?
Go on.
All right. It's like I said. A wizened old crone by the name of Karen's been selling steel to whoever will pay her price. Be they knight or... Says the more swords and spears she puts in people's hands, the more war they'll wage. And the more war being waged, the more call for swords and who will they all turn to keep... Why, the good Reaper her...
And you've seen this Reaper at work?
Aye, it just so happens. You'll find her right here, plying her trade most...
Here in Delamil? Where exactly?
She has a stall here in the market, but if you're not the patient type, you can probably find her at her storehouse on the edge of town. But it'd be a bolder man than me that braved that particular nest. Feeling bold, traveler? I hope so. Now, if that's all, I have places to be.
Sorry to have kept you.
You don't think Nan's the Reaper?
Not unless she's discovered the secret of how to be in two places.
Eh?
Lady Karen hasn't left the hideaway in weeks. So who has been running this stall he spoke of?
Good question.
And I'll visit this storehouse on the edge of town.
All right, but...
You too, Goots.
Finest cell swords. Fuck! How the hell did...
The gentlemen of the town guard are strapped.
Mummy.
What a mess.
Where do we...
You fought very bravely.
The safety of the town is in our hands.
Time to brave the Viper's Nest.
Just you, is it? Thought I might have laid it on a bit thick.
It was a fairly unconvincing tale. So, what now?
That's up to you. Die a slow death? Or a quick one? Boys, he's all yours. But that sword is mine.
Leave now and we can pretend this didn't happen.
Yeah! Oh, you've done it now.
Go on. Tell me what I've done.
When the Borgwyn finds out you've killed his men, he'll have your head. He only wanted that bull of a manservant, the dim one always clinging to Karen's skirts. You weren't even supposed to be here. Who the hell are you anyway?
What were you going to do to him?
The Borgwyn wanted him to get to Karen. I was only supposed to point the lamp in the right direction once he arrived in Dalamil. But then you turned up. Well, go on then. If you're going to end me, end me.
You're not worth the effort. Now be gone, before I change my mind.
Fucking coward!
I need to find Goots. Right now.
Get your filthy paws off me, you naughty-pated lout!
Stop calling me names! And stop spreading them horrible lies about Nan!
Well, that will be easy enough. For they are not lies. Every last word is true. And she must pay for her crimes in blood.
Goose, are you all right?
He's gonna kill Nan! He said she had to pay in blood!
After what she did, it is only right. She ruined my life, and that loathsome harpy's very existence is a crime. Goose, was it? Only with your run along now. You need not pay for...
No.
No?
I don't care what she did. I won't let you hurt. Promise me you won't hurt her. Or I'll kill you!
Goots!
Enough, all!
Karen.
But how did you?
You're a sight less clever than you think you are, the pair of you. Did you think I wouldn't notice the two of you slinking off together? Well, the whole thing got me thinking, who in Dalamil might bear me a grudge? And a certain snivelling shit I ran afoul of in my fairy years, though it was just Bogan back then. I thought the years might have taught you some sense, but I see you're the same pants-pissing craven you've always been. What was it we called you? Wet legs.
You. Everything that happened, it was all your fault. And now you'll finally pay for what you did to me!
Goots, you...
If you want a piece of Nan, you'll have to go through me.
Fuck!
You great galoot. Out of the way, I can handle this myself. So, wet legs. You remember what you told me when we last met? An eye for an eye. Wise words, Em. Wise words. And now, it's time to collect. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Is he...
Dead? No. It's an easy going through life, one eye short of a pet. After all, I should know.
You don't mean...
Oh, don't tell me you didn't notice. Lost it to old Wet Legs back when we were working the same routes. Said I'd stolen from his strongbox. I'd done nothing of the sort, mind. But that didn't stop him taking his little revenge. So I took some of my own. Sorry, lost everything. His coin, his clients. Always knew he'd be back one day to claim his due, but he crossed a line dragging poor Goots in. He didn't hurt you, did he?
No, Nan. Still got all my arms, see? But
What if he does? First we take the other eye, then we work our way down. He'll learn his lesson soon, but something tells me the wet legs is right. Let's get you back to the hideaway. You've attracted quite enough attention already.
Remind me never to cross you.
Ready, go?
Run like the wind.
We can use the ruins to cross the ravine.
Assuming they will allow it, the Echoes have a will of their own.
Tell us about Yote, Joshua.
She's strong-willed, loyal, and deadly with a blade. Much like Clive, but with better manners.
It's over.
You're injured. What happened here? Where are your comrades?
Ether flood. Up ahead. It swallowed our camp. My own men did this. There's a village not far from here. Tate. It's only a matter of... We can't let...
Catch your breath.
Thank you.
Rest well, soldier. You said the encampment was close. Let's hope the Akashic are still there.
Another ether flood. They're everywhere now.
We can't go around it.
Then we'll just have to be careful.
Good. I got here in time.
Is someone there? Please, I can't move my leg.
That doesn't sound like an Akashic. With the battalion?
I am. I heard the fighting.
Taken care of. One of your brothers in arms told me what happened and asked for help.
Another survivor? Where is he?
His wounds were too deep.
He was right to send you. Those things you slew are no longer my brothers. Tabor is safe thanks to you. Here, you've earned it. You seem familiar.
You must have me confused with someone.
Wait.
Son of a whore. I was there! In Cosnis when you killed my brothers! I was there in Rosalith when you killed my commander!
My war with Hugo Kupka is over. I bear no ill will toward those who followed him.
And what of my ill will? Coward! Draw your steel. Lord Kupka shall be avenged!
When your wounds have healed and your head has cooled, come and find me if you must. Though I hazard your life would be better spent in service of those who need it. Or have you forgotten your oath to the Republic?
My oath? What would you know of oaths?
I know how hard they are to keep. Which is why I'm giving you the chance to keep yours.
No. Lord Kupka told us of your crimes. You are an outlaw. A murderer, not some...
Man. Like you or anyone else.
Just know that I will find you, Sid.
My lord Marquis, is that you? It is you. Then you receive... I am Sebastian Rutherford, Chief Steward of your...
Of course.
Yes, my lord.
And what was so sensitive that you couldn't put it in writing?
1,000 apologies, my lord. I did not...
It's all right.
I am here at Martha's Rest, at the behest of... tasked with learning what I am able of the realm's current state. And what I have learned is grim. The fall of the Mother Crystals has left store. The subsequent darkening of the heavens has only made things worse. Akashic attacks, once unthinkable, are now... The gears of governance have ground to a halt. And without a state, the realm threatens to drift. Your lord uncle, however, believes there is a way to avoid this fate.
That sounds like...
It is. Hence my having enlisted the aid of several colleagues serving the Seven.
Alas.
I have lost contact with 2 of those colleagues already. They are both able-bodied and trained in the sword, yet in these dark times even that may not prove sufficient to keep a man safe.
So you want me to find them? I'll need to know where they went.
One I sent to investigate the Republic. The other...
That doesn't exactly narrow it down. I suppose.
Thank you, my lord. I shall pray...
It's not going to be easy finding one man in an entire republic.
Bandits, maybe.
Let's hope someone here's seen something.
Mummy?
The gentleman of the town guard.
Someone's got himself in trouble.
I don't see your master here, so you can start by giving us all the coppers in your purse.
I already told you, I have nothing.
And maybe we'll take that pretty outfit and the steel you're wearing.
Please! These men are trying to rob me!
I'll deal with this.
Thank you.
You that one's master, then? If you'd kindly pay the coin he owes us, we can pretend you didn't draw your blade on Republican soldiers.
Or you can go back to your garrison and I won't report you to your captain.
Oh, you're more than welcome to. He hasn't had many visitors since we slit his throat.
expect as much from Hugo's faithful, but these were men of the fist.
Much has changed in the Republican army since they...
You've seen this kind of thing before, then?
Many times. I was sent here to...
You're one of Rutherford's men. He sent me to look for you.
Well, then you have my thanks. I fancy I could defend myself against one, perhaps two, but... I arrived in Dalimil several days ago, but when I called upon the captain of the local garrison to make inquiry, his men confiscated my effects and locked me in a...
The captain is no more. And his men...
Fortunately, I was able to bribe my way free. Only to be stopped again by those soldiers you so kindly dispatched.
What of the Fist's central command? Surely they wouldn't allow such lawlessness amongst their ranks.
I would imagine they are unaware of it. Most of the army has fallen back to the capital and hunkered down behind her wall. Those who weren't recalled now rule the fringes unchecked, answering to no one but themselves.
Then it's worse than we imagined. You should return to Rosaria.
I'll find a caravan heading north. You won't mind if I borrow one of these soldiers' coin purse?
Not at all. Now, to find this, if he was bound for Oriflamme, I'll start at Northreach. There's a lot of road between here and the capital. Rutherford's man could be anywhere.
There were ghosts at the gates not days ago.
What happened here?
If you're with the others, they've already relieved me of my belongings.
I'm not. I'm looking for someone who was...
Then you found him. I'm Alistair Rockford, attendant...
of the 7 high houses of Rosette. It's been a long time. Is she well?
My Lord Marquis? Yes. Yes, she is. The Lady Dowager has granted me leave to assist your... I was on my way back from the old capital when I saw some villagers being robbed.
Bandits?
They looked more like field hands. It didn't matter in the end. I did what I could to help the victims, but all it earned me was a pommel to the...
Which way did they go?
South, toward...
All right. Founder knows I've met enough of their kind. You head back to Northreach. Visit the Vale. Tell them I sent...
Thank you. I shall.
They just couldn't resist, could they?
This one's ours, pretty boy.
Make for the town while you can. There may be more bandits nearby.
You don't need to tell me twice. Many thanks.
This looks to be all of them.
I thought I told you to make for the Vale.
And stand by, as ill might befall the heir to the ducal throne.
It's just Clive. Which is more than can be said for you.
I will survive.
Strange that the garrison wouldn't intervene in such a brazen attack so close to their gate.
The garrison have their hands full inside the city. Some days they don't even send out patrol. There are few hands left to work the fields, and even fewer to transport. The market stalls are nearly bare, and the price for what remains is exorbitant. It's not uncommon to see a fight break out over a crust of bread. When I said the ones who attacked me didn't have the look of bandits, I meant it. They were probably...
Rockford, if you are to continue your investigation, you first need to seek the attention of a healer.
I shall return to Northreach right away, but allow me to thank you first. Had you...
Don't thank me.
I suppose he'll be wondering where I've got to. I shall send a Bastolus as soon as I'm able.
My uncle certainly has his work cut out for him. If it isn't already too late. I should go and tell Rutherford that his colleagues are still in one piece.
You needn't fret. The creatures have been...
To the meadows, then.
But you said I should be able to find what I'm looking for somewhere nearby. Bright blue dragons and bright yellow flowers. Should be easy enough to spot. Now that is heady. This must be the Drake's Mint. That just leaves the Skyworm.
not alone.
This must be our wyvern. All right. Let's get this over with. I think that's everything Molly needs to resurrect her recipe. I see you're still here.
The Rest's location affords a constant flow of traders, and with it Speaking of which, I received word from both my associates.
I only happen to be in the right place at the right... They both seem to think the realm's prospect...
I am afraid that Grim would be Storm is in crisis, and if we are to free her, we must work. And we must work.
As it is mine.
Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
So, did you have that word with Tomes then?
I did, and he was as helpful as ever. He told me exactly...
And what precisely will I be cooking up? Or is it better not to know?
Blueback wyvern liver. And, a herb known as Saint's Bonnet.
Ah, wyvern livers, was it? Well, at least it weren't actual worms, I suppose. Now then, you stay right where you are. I've got some cook. Let's hope these grand old chefs of yore knew what they were on about. And here we have it. Fried mortress of skyworm. Ivan's offered to make sure it's fit for consumption. Well, I say offered. He as good as begged.
And rightly so. Is there any higher honour than partaking in a slice of culinary history?
So, not fit for consumption then?
What witchery is this? The crackle of the crust gives way to an almost violent richness. Yet, it is the piquant kiss of the saint's bonnet that tames this savage dish. It is a tour de force. A force of nature, even. A maelstrom of flavour and sensation. A graceful beast emerging from centuries of slumber.
I think he likes it.
Well, I can't quite tell with all that nonsense he's talking. But I reckon you might be right. It was
decent. It's remarkable. And I defy any man to say a word to the...
Sid, might I suggest that you command a party of your finest men and women to procure a dozen blueback wyverns forthwith?
I'll give it some thought.
Nothing like a dish of cold vengeance to...
I didn't mean to make... I just thought I had to...
Aye, well, someone had to. Your parents certainly didn't. Reckon the both of us would be worse off if I'd not taken... You've always been me right, and I'd have you stay that way. So don't you dare go look...
Well, I will. If you ever need help, I'll do it again.
Why, you big look. Fine. Play the hero if it makes...
Thanks, Nan.
There's nothing he wouldn't do for you.
That's as maybe. But if he's ever to make his own way in life, he'll need to start looking out for himself. Till then, he'll need people to watch his back. Just like you did in Dalamil.
Of course.
Stop it. You made me one good eye, missed. I don't go thinking that'll do you any favours. A potion today'll cost you the same as it did yesterday.
Did you see the pair that got hauled into time? Did you see that? Ready, girl?
Time to fight.
We're nearly there.
Have you been to Tabor before?
There are a few places I haven't.
Welcome, travelers. We don't get many visitors here in Tabor.
Where now, Joshua?
There is a residence just inside the city gates. She awaits us within.